Alright. What's up, y'all? Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, what about you? You're in your car. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I'm apparently muted on here, but you guys could not even hear me on the actual video. Damn it, man!
We are so off our game.
I'm off my game, especially. It has been a long time since I've done something like this. But Wyatt, we're gonna be racing 80 laps around the Daytona International Speedway.
I'm CE.
Oh yeah, sorry, CE. Damn it, man. But CE, 80 laps around Daytona International Speedway. 200 miles, man. What do you think we're going to expect here tonight?
We're going to expect craziness, and unlike previous, we're going to have some surprise and funny names in this series too. A lot of newcomers, but some of those newcomers are funny.
Some of them are actually going to be really hilarious. I also just realized there's a couple more places where I could really promote this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We are going to reveal the starting lineup to you guys here in just a moment, but just want to bear in mind that pretty much some of these names are going to be very familiar. So your name may just so happen to pop up in this order, but if you happen to be in a car, do not be alarmed. We just decided to add people in willy-nilly because number one, we just really wanted people in this race, but also number two, it's kindness from our hearts, the very, very, very kindness from our hearts. So do you want to keep that in mind? So without further ado, why don't we go ahead and reveal the starting lineup to you guys. Starting on the pole is the number 24 of Stephen Colon, and alongside him is the number 27 of Gekka Holt. Starting in row number 2, we have the number 38 of Benny Watson, and alongside is the 21 of Emily Anderson. Row 3 sees the number 20 of Eric Estep and the number 14 of Caleb Hoffman. You want to take rows 4 through 6, Wyatt?
Sure thing. And we got Stephen Walker in the number 10, and then we got Justin Marks in the 19. And I made that one because of Suarez. It'd be funny. And over in the 48, we have Terry Walker. And then on the outside, we have how do you say that last name?
Nia Steidel.
Nia Steidel, thank you. And then I think it's the last row before you take over. We have the 96 of Ryan Kendall, and then the 47 of Travis Crampton.
And in row number 7, we have the number 95 of Zachary Taylor. Lining up alongside is the number 9 of Art Leonard. In row number 9. Did I say row number 8? I think row 8 here. Row number 9 is number 13 of Haley Curris. And alongside her is the number 77 of Ray Atikian. Ship right there, if you know what I mean. And row number 10 is the number 37 of Michael DeFeo. And alongside him is the number 31 of Kelsey Higdon.
And then that next row, we got the 78 of Wyatt Walker. And then right beside him is the 15 of Pitbull.
Yes.
And then we'll explain why those two are funny. And then we got the 22 of
that's Mitchell Collins.
Mitchell? Yeah, Mitchell Collins. And then outside is It is the 11 of Michael Jordan. And then in this row before he takes over, we got Quentin Moore in the 34. And then we have Andrew Ramsey in the 32.
Next row, we have the number 4 of Zachary Fitzwater, and alongside him is the number 23 of Sly Foxy. Next row back, we have the number 42 of Nathan Stapleton, and lining up alongside him is the number 3, Claire Phillips. And then the next row back is the 72 of Sean Ard and the 83 of Derek Hamill.
And then next row, in the number 12, we got Brian Holt. And then the 17, we got Raja Caruth. Then number 18, we got Abby Walker. And then the 51 of Joshua Cornish?
Yes.
Is that how you say that? And then in the 88, we got Eli Bright. And then number 6, we have Cody Smart.
And in the final 3 rows, we have the number 43 of Josh Williamson. Lining up alongside him is the number 2 of Allison Rain, or really in short, Allie Rain. Then the number 1 of Alex Bonsignor. Lining up alongside him is the number 5 of Elijah Gordon. And in the caboose is the number 7 of Janiyah Hill and the 55 of Susie Atikian. That is your 42 car field here for the Busch's 200 here at Daytona International Speedway. And I don't think we really have anything else to talk about, so why don't we go ahead and just get this underway. And we missed the command. Whoops. Not what I really wanted. But here we go. Now we've got the command. Coming up in 10 seconds, these drivers ready to go here at the World Center of Racing. Wait for that command to...
Driver,
there it is.
Start your engines!
And I do promise that we will change the commands. So we'll get the old lineups back. But engines have fired, pace cars rolling off, and so are the 42 competitors. Onto the 31 degrees of banking. They'll complete their one and only pace lap before we get the green flag. And CE, I want to know, who you got your eyes on here for this race?
Well, I mean, anyone can win from anywhere. This is Daytona. But I want to keep my... But you can't count out the guys. Can't count out guys like the 19 of Justin Marks or the 15 of Pitbull. Gotta keep an eye on those two. I feel like those two might work together. But don't forget, we have 4 different walkers in this field as well. We got Abby, we got Steven, we got Terry, and we got Wyatt. The walkers may work together. So keep an eye on that. And the trouble trio of Janiyah, Naya, and Haley could play a factor as well, teaming up.
I would say that is very well the case. One driver we really should keep an eye on is one of the trouble trio in Nia Steidel. Starting a little bit further back, just outside the top 10. Actually, no, she's starting inside the top 10, starting in that 10th position. Had a really good qualifying run, and definitely looking forward to see what she'll be able to do here at Daytona International Speedway. But drivers are now coming out of turn number 4 this time around. And we're getting ready to see the green flag fly from here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. As we'll recap, front row, that is the number 24 of Stephen Colon and the 27 of Gekka Holt. And row number 2 is the number 38 of Quentin Moore, or Benny Watson, excuse me. And then you also have the 21, I forgot the name, Emily Anderson. That is your top 4. Then starting 5th, Eric Estep. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here in Daytona.
So far, everyone's still 2 by 2. No one's making a crazy move to the outside just yet.
And coming around through turns 1 and 2 this time, the 24 of Stephen Colon gets a good jump down the back straightaway, getting up to full speed. It's going to take him a lap for all these engines to get up to full song. And here comes the number 38 of Benny Watson diving down low, and we're already 3 wide in the middle. That's Art Leonard in the number 9, and now joining him in the middle is the 31 of Kelsey Hickton. They come off of turn number 4 at 190 miles per hour. And coming around to lead the first lap, the 38, Benny Watson, leads lap number 1.
That's not Art. That's Ray Atikin in the 77 that went up to the high lane. And now they're starting to form a three wide in the front of the pack. Will everyone else start going 3 by 3, or will it still be a mix between 3 wide, 2 wide?
We'll just have to. Looks like they're starting to go 3 wide here, 2 rows deep. Eric Estep on the bottom. That puts the number 24 up top, and you also have the number 10. That is Stephen Walker down on the inside. Second car in line.
And then you got his uncle right behind him in the 48, Terry Walker, right behind him and pushing him in that inside lane. As now Eric Estep's trying to go for the lead here.
Not so fast here. Here comes Terry Walker. Eric Estep left the door open for the number 10 of Stephen Walker to just fill that hole right up. And coming off turn 2, down the back straightaway. Estep clears the outside car of Watson for the moment, but for how much longer is he going to be able to hold on to the lead? Looks like just a little bit longer. He slides down to the bottom and tries to cover that inside line, and he is going to have no traffic around him, at least for the moment, as they come off of turn number 4, and it will be Estep leading lap number 3.
With Stephen Walker right behind him, and you got his uncle Terry right behind him, and behind him we got 96 of Ryan Kendall on that inside too. He's going to try and help the 48 as much as he can, but don't be surprised if he tries to make a move on him.
It wouldn't be too surprising at all. Remember, they are not teammates in the manufacturer's standpoint, nor in the organization standpoint. Walker drives for Hendrick Motorsports, and then you have the Gaunt brothers, number 96, being piloted by Ryan Kendall. The front 2 break away for the moment. That's Stephen Walker, Eric Estep, 20 and 10. 2 car tango single file, at least for the moment. They pulled out by 2 car lengths over Emily Anderson, who now tucks in the 3rd position, and they're side by side for 4th. Terry Walker has the advantage going into turn number 1. And he's definitely going to have the preferred line here because the bottom has been the preferred way to go all the way around. And we got a challenge for the lead heading down the back straightaway. Here comes the number 10 of Stephen Walker to the inside. Had a Ford teammate and Emily Anderson right behind him. For the moment, Anderson a little bit troubled on where she really wants to go. But
here comes Terry on the bottom. Terry Walker to help his nephew on the bottom.
And yes.
The 14. Caleb Hoffman.
She made the decision a little too late, Emily Anderson did, and now she's stuck up on that middle line, and they're double file, at least for the moment. First 5 rows until you get on back over here to where Travis Crampton is. He is the first car in the middle. Then you also have the 22 of Mitchell Collins down there on the bottom. You also have the 19, Justin Marks, 5th car on the outside, just up inside of the top 10. But they are 3 wide, pretty much the rest of the field on back. But so far, 5 laps in, coming to 6 laps complete there. The racing is pretty intense, but everybody's minding their own P's and Q's for the moment.
That's right, and you gotta look, and they're almost about 3 wide, almost the whole road, like you mentioned. That's pretty calm, nothing going on. Susie still hasn't moved up from where she starts. She's still in last. Looks like down. Like she may be losing the draft here for a minute if she can get right behind. I think that's the 7.
That is the number 7 of Janiah Hill. And both of those drivers are still stuck in the back of the field. And can you really blame them? Right now, we're looking at drivers that really aren't going anywhere down the back straightaway as they approach the 200-mile-per-hour mark heading into turn number 3. But from the looks of things, everybody is pretty much trapped in a 3, just pretty much trapped right where they are. No one's really gaining positions, but no one's really losing positions either right now. So that's pretty much the common theme if you're towards the middle back end of the pack. And right now, pretty much everybody's just staying right where they are. And at least towards the back of the field, I would say that staying in the back of the field is not that bad of a deal. Lead change. Here comes Terry Walker to the inside of Stephen Walker. So far, those two have dominated the first few laps of this race, but we've had other leaders such as Benny Watson as well as Eric Estep. But now it's the Walkers leading the top and bottom lines as they go back into turn number 3.
And keep an eye on that 14. He'll try and make a move, and he'll have help. He'll have help with Zachary Taylor behind him. And will the 13 of Haley their last name how do you say their last name?
Curris.
Curris? Okay. Thank you. He may have help from Haley. Get past both the walkers.
You also have to keep in mind here, you also have the 37 of Michael DeFeo up in this mix. Remember, it's been a long time since he's been a part of NR competition. And with the first race of the NR 2003 offline racing series season, you got to think that this is going to be pretty big for somebody like Wyatt Walker. As I mentioned, it's been a long time since we've seen him race in any of the NR series, especially in this neck of the woods. So it will be really interesting to see how Michael's going to take this and see if what kind of experience he can get under his belt. At least try to get a little bit of that muscle memory going again, because we've seen in the past drivers that come back into any NR series, really in particular, it takes them a little bit to try to get their stride back, but it's all that muscle memory that kicks right in and just immediately catapults you right back to where you were. So I'm really curious to see how Wyatt Walker's going to take this as they go back into turn number 3, with the Walkers still leading both lines.
And that 14 looks like he's searching, trying to see if he can get past that 48. He may make a move here in a lap or two, but it looks like I think Steven's going to lead this lap. Yes, he will, by 2/1,000. 2/100ths of a second. My bad.
2/100ths of a second, though, is still really close.
We could complete lap 10 if I'm correct.
With 10 laps complete, an eighth of the way through this race. So far, the Walkers have led both lines, and we sort of died back down to double file, but I'm not sure how much longer this can really continue on. You see here, Ray Atikian in the 77 is still stuck in the middle. See if we can go on board with him. Just to give you really a glimpse of what he's really having to experience, his teammate Wyatt Walker is right there in front of him.
They're both right. Yeah, both front row, I'm sorry. Both cars are just right around the front, trying to stay out of trouble as much as they can. Right behind him, we got the 12 of Brian Holt. But no, that's not the 12 tonight. I am sorry about that. Oh, that's Fort Leonard. And there's the 12 right next to him. But, the 9 right behind them helps push and stuff. We got drivers we haven't talked about yet. We got the 72 Sean Ard right next to him, and behind the 12 we saw Abby Walker. But looks like Eric Easton was trying to think about making a 3-wide move on the outside.
Yeah, if the only problem is he really didn't have that good of a run, but if he had left that line open, then he would have been shuffled out to the extreme high side, and he would have been shuffled out, basically hung out to dry. But good thinking there by Eric Estep, and he still sits there second in line, still tucked into that 4th position as they go back into turn number 3. I thought Haley Kurse was going to try to make it 3 wide underneath the Zachary Taylor and Eric Estep, and I also thought Emily Anderson was going to try to thread the needle.
14 still thinking about trying to make a move on him. He's been eyeing it for some few laps now, and he looked like he was going to try and make a move that lap. If the 13 did get underneath the 55, the 14 would probably have to force that move to get under the 48.
Probably would have.
Right now.
That's probably the case, but still right now, everybody is just still racing pretty good. Single file. Well, not really single file, but more so double file. Everybody's kind of just died down a little bit. The 3 wide has subsided. Everybody's just getting into their own little rhythm. Oh, well, as soon as I say that, the 3 of Claire Phillips just got put in the middle by the number 6 of Cody Smart, and then right up on the outside is the number 23 of Sly Foxy, and nobody's really moved. And nobody's really gained any positions. No one's lost any positions either. That so far has been the common theme throughout this entire 15-lap stint.
3 wide close to the front.
3 wide closer to the front, as you did mention there. Ryan Kendall now stuck in the middle. Caleb Hoffman has now put Eric Estep up on the top side. So now He takes a position away from E-Step, and now E-Step tucks right back in behind Hoffman. But they are still 3 wide. Uh-oh, we're 4 wide.
That's not
4
good.
wide.
Who's that on
Kendall,
the bottom?
Mitchell Collins, Zachary Fitzwater down on the bottom. Oh my goodness! How
they made it? Are they still?
Are they still 4 wide? They are still 4 wide. Emily Anderson backs out of it, and we're still green. How did they get out of that?
I don't know, but that was a smart move by the 21 to get out there. They knew it wasn't smart and still pretty early. That was a gutsy move by the 4. What? Good job to all 4 of those cars, not reckoning causing a big one.
That was some really heads-up driving by all these guys out here. That was some serious heads-up driving.
We mentioned, talking about names we haven't mentioned yet. Right behind that 4 who made that gutsy call is Nathan Stapleton in that 42. Yeah, 42. He might be trying to work with the 4 and try to figure out some moves here and there.
He also has some Chevy teammates right behind him, one of them being the number 72 of Sean Ard. But he's also got another one in front of Zachary Fitzwater, and that is Michael DeFeo, as I mentioned. But pretty much Zachary Fitzwater is the only obstacle in between himself and DeFeo as far as Chevy teammates are concerned. But right now, as we see here, everybody's still double file. Now they're 3 wide once again. Justin Marks now still stuck in the middle. There's Travis Crampton in the 47 now going to the middle line and hanging the 22 and the 21 out to dry.
No one has even tried to go against either one of the walkers. Both Steven and Terry are still leading this thing and 95 is back where the 14 was, trying to look for an opening, see if he can figure out a way to get through.
And so far, I mean, nothing really has happened in that type of scenario. Both of the walkers, Terry and Steven, have just been the class act of the field all race long thus far, coming around to complete 20 laps in just a couple circuits time. It'll be 18 complete when they come back to the line this time around. Zachary Taylor in that 95. He's got a hole. He's looking underneath, but he's not really thinking twice about making the move right now. It's a lot of patience that these drivers currently have. Just they know that there's not a lot of time in this race, so they got to go for all they can get, but at the same time, they got to balance that out with patience. And in an 80-lap race like this, that's hard to do.
And here's the question that's going to be, I feel it's going to be coming up soon. When are we going to have pit stops?
Pit stops, more than likely. NR terms, it's 1X. So I would say these pit stops would be coming around lap 32, lap 35, closer to around the halfway point. They'll have to make 2 pit stops throughout this entire race. One right around the lap 32-35 window, lap 32, lap 36 window, and another one within 20 laps to go.
But that's also got a question. The leaders can't do it, but all the rest of the drivers all need to try and save as much as they can. See who can outpit the other. Try to see who first, but also try to pit with a group, not just by yourself.
Absolutely, I do agree with that right there. But so far, the racing aspect, I don't think anybody wants to stop doing that. Crampton and now Art Leonard are still in the middle, 3 wide. Justin Marks was in that position, but now he tucks in between Collins and Anderson in that middle groove. And now the 21 and the 38 are now hung out to dry. Wyatt Walker now joins them in the middle.
Those who were on the outside for the longest time, and they're still the outside for 3 wide for the longest time, they're still holding their ground up there. And you can see in the back there, our pole setter, Stephen Colon, he's actually fallen back to, I think, around the 20s. If I'm correct, he went from the pole, and now he's back.
As of right now, Cologne is being scored 22nd.
So he's falling back from the pole while the other driver, who's right next to him, let's figure out. I think the 27 fell back a bit more than him. I see her. She's on the outside, right behind the the 34, I think it is.
It's Quentin Moore.
Yeah. But even then, those are falling back from the lead. And speaking of the lead, it's still between the walkers.
Still between the walkers, and I'm still really impressed that they've been the class act of this field all race long thus far, but I wouldn't count on it because, again, the pit stops are going to come along and they're going to completely change the complexion of this race and who could be out front by the time the first cycle concludes. But then again, it's also going to separate the field. So this pack racing that we're seeing with all 42 cars in this pack, that's not going to last long. So these
no one has lost the field.
No one,
even in the back, no one has lost the draft.
Which
Everyone's
is
still down there.
Which is really impressive. I mean, we thought that somebody like Susie Atikin was going to lose the draft to get completely hung out to dry. We're not really hung out to dry, but just completely lose touch with the field. But here she is. Right now, just riding in the 39th position, currently being scored. She's now on the bottom 3 wide of Kelsey Higdon and now Derek Hamill, who I believe might have just touched the outside wall. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But nonetheless, everybody's still...
I think two of the Hendrick teammates are running up front or close to the front. I know the 48...
Uh-oh, 3 wide. 3 wide. Zachary Taylor has overtaken both of the walkers, and he goes to the lead.
Zachary Taylor's been eyeballing that move for a while, and here comes Haley on outside, and the 75 goes to the outside. That leaves the door open for the 13 to try to make a move with.
Oh man, he was a little late to close the door, and now Haley Kurris drives to the inside with a little bit of help from Michael DeFeo to try to take the lead away as they come off of turn 4 back to the start-finish line. But Taylor gets a really good push off of turn 4. Thanks to Terry Walker, he keeps the lead.
And Terry Walker's fighting with Haley, trying to keep second so she could try to make a move on Zachary Fitzwater. But it looks like Haley will get the move, and she hasn't cleared the 48 yet, but she's getting close to. And still going to get some help from Michael DeFeo.
Oh, wow, look at Eric Estep diving slicing from top to bottom, 3 wide for second. They're double file for 5th. They're double file for 5th. DeFeo and Walker going at it for the 5th position. And behind them, they are still 3 abreast for the moment. And Taylor is absolutely loving what he sees in his rear view mirror. Let's take a ride with Taylor and look back on this field. Just look at that.
It looks like Eric Estep's trying to make a move to get the second from Haley. He's getting help from, I think that's the 96 of Ryan Kendall. I could be wrong.
That is the 37 of Michael DeFeo, but here comes the 13.
Oh, here comes the 13.
Down to the inside. Coming off of turn 4. Let's see what it looks like coming to the line. It is Taylor.
Taylor still gets it, but here comes draft towel from both Stephen Walker and
3 wide. Michael DeFeo makes it 3 abreast for 3rd. For 3rd spot. Maybe try to get 2 birds with 1 stone if he can get a nose underneath of Haley Kurris for the top position down the back stretch.
Haley, I mean, four birds with 1 stone on that because he tried to go from 5th to 1st in that. Didn't succeed.
Oh, he's leaving the bottom open a little bit for Zachary Fitzwater. He covers it. We're not going 4 wide this time, Fitzy. We're not going 4 wide this time.
Don't look now, but a couple rows back in the front, in the inside lane. Here comes both Wyatt Walker and Ray Atikin, the Furniture Row teammates.
The Furniture Row teammates working together now on that bottom line. They have found each other, and our pole sitters coming back into the mix. Meanwhile,
that 4 wide about to go for the lead?
It was really close to 4 wide. Here they come down the back straightaway. Still 3 abreast. Fitzy leading the inside. DeFeo leading the middle. DeFeo covers the spot for 2nd. Kurris still holds on, and Taylor gets shuffled back to 3rd, maybe even to 4th as they come off of turn 4.
after the dominance of both Terry Walker and Stephen Walker, they're starting to fall back through the field, and that allows different drivers to try to run up to the front. Now we're seeing different drivers run up in the front, like Haley and the Zachary Taylor and Michael DeFeo, who's now trying to get the draft, the 13 with some help from the 4. And the 4 looks like he might try and make a move if he gets there.
If he's able to get a good enough push. Oh my goodness gracious. Sean Ard almost opened the door for 4 wide for Emily Anderson. Almost did it, but he covers the position. Still holds on. Everybody's still running 3 abreast. And we got to also keep this in mind. We're closing in on the window where pit stops are going to be a factor. Here comes DeFeo. They both have a little bit of a gap on the rest of the field, but that's going to change here really quickly as they go down the back straightaway. You can see right here, Curris pulls ahead, but it's going to be DeFeo with the shove going into turn 3. Never mind, Fitzy almost answered. Oh, but he's leaving the door open. Oh my goodness, are we going to have pit stops? Everybody's going a little bit wider. That means there's still that potential to where we could have a 4 wide crash potentially coming off of turn number 4. Once the window opens for pit stops, this is going to be really interesting. DeFeo.
Eric E steps back on the inside lane again. He could try and get through to go for the lead again.
He could very well possibly do it. He just needs a good enough shove from the 42 of Nathan Stapleton. They head down the back straightaway, 195 miles per hour, heading into turn number 3. But here comes Zachary Fitzwater to make it 3 wide for the top position. Look at this. Everybody going up against the wall. Everybody that's on the top side is going up against the wall. And here we go. Pit stops are happening.
Here's pit stops. It looks like
that's
Stapleton's involved.
Looks like the 4 Fitzy's coming in. Also the 72. That is Sean Ard, Emily Anderson, Atikian, Quentin Moore. The first group of cars that are on pit road as we speak.
And DeFeo takes the lead with Eric Eastep behind. Looks like Eastep may try something, but look at how much the gap. And I think they're starting to think that this is the next group going to be doing pit stops. But see who all comes in this lap.
I would definitely agree. It looks like it's going to be DeFeo that's going to lead this group onto pit road. Eric Eastep.
27 may come in too.
Never mind. Here comes the 20. The 20 is going to lead.
Eric Eastep. And here comes more in the back.
Here comes more in the back. The 9, the 14, the 12. I saw the 48 in here. The 96, 38, 22, the 24, 27, 43, 1, 31, 5, 15, 11. All on pit road. And here comes the rest of the field that just made their stops. They have rejoined the field. DeFeo, the drivers that have still yet to come down pit road are Michael DeFeo, Haley Curris, also the 10 of Stephen Walker. Everybody, and also, well, actually, I think Walker made his pit stop.
I don't think he did.
Oh, now here comes Michael DeFeo.
Here comes DeFeo.
And yep, you're right. Here comes Stephen Walker down into the pits.
And who else is coming? Here comes I see Abby Walker. I see the 41. I see Wyatt Walker. I see the 6, the 3.
The 95 of Zachary Taylor.
Else.
Oh, it looks like Zachary Taylor's got a little bit of right side damage. I think he's coming back down pit road. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
He's got damage on the right side of his car. I think right here, maybe the culprit, the 17, was really slow in the pits. So now the question is, who's going to be the leader after this round of green flag stops? I think it might be the 20.
Is there anyone else that have not come to pit road yet?
I think that's the rest of them. Everybody else that came in that group that's all of them. So now I think if should nothing else happen, the 37 of Michael DeFeo is going to retain the lead. That is if he can get up to speed. Oh, but here's another safety issue. Everybody is coming off of the apron and reblending back up on the racetrack into turn number 1. That is a very big safety issue in my personal opinion. Oh, but this... Oh, man, this is going to be interesting. I think it's still DeFeo. I think Michael DeFeo is going to retain the lead.
Yeah, but here comes Stapleton and Eric Eastep on drafting together with, I think that's not Stephen Walker. I think that's the 9.
Yeah, the 9 of Art Leonard. Leonard now moves up, is now in the 4th position. And indeed, it was Michael DeFeo who retains the lead after these pit stops. But Eric Eastep trying to power on the outside. 3 wide.
Look at Art Leonard trying to make a move.
3 wide for the 2nd position. Got 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's see if he can get 3 birds with 1 rock. They head down the back straightaway. 3 cars on the inside, 3 cars on the outside.
And looks like a big old pack forming on the back.
3 wide once again for 2nd as Sean Ard goes to the point. To the bottom, rather, for the 2nd position. DeFeo, I'm surprised he managed to hold on to the lead.
And that's a small group, but if you look in the back, here comes a bigger group coming up. They may try to rejoin the field and catch this group.
And remember, Haley Kurz is by herself, so she's going to get easily picked up by this group being led by Emily Anderson in the 21. You also have the 47 of Travis Crampton here, Terry Walker. Here's another driver we really haven't talked about a whole lot in this race. Is the number 43 of Josh Williamson, currently tucked in that 14th position. I'd say he might have a good shot of trying to go for a good finish to start this off season.
Talking about this. Alex Monsignor in the 1, along with the 22. Mitchell Collins, Abby Walker's in that group too. Got a good group there, and the 40 and the 47. We mentioned his name once, but Travis Crampton's in this group too. They could try to work together and catch not just Haley, but also that lead pack.
Absolutely, indeed. That could very well be the case here. As they come off of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway, they're going to pick up Haley Kerr, in the number 13. And let's take a look at who's in that 3rd pack of cars. That's Stephen Colon, our pole sitter, and that number 24. There's the number 11 of Michael Jordan. You got Elijah Gordon in this pack. The 3 of Claire Phillips. The 15 of Pitbull, the 77 of Rhea Tikian. You also have Janiyah Hill in the 7 in this group. Basically, a lot of drivers, and I see damage to the 38 of Benny Watson. So I'm thinking the damage from the 95 and the 38 more than likely came from contact on pit road. I guess not from each other, but from other drivers.
We'll have to go back and check that out on another time, but I am actually surprised. We've been 37, almost 38 laps in, and we have not seen a caution yet.
Lead change. 72 led the last lap, and it is DeFeo who leads again this lap by 1/100th over Sean Ard. I need to take my sweatshirt off. I'm getting hot.
As they still go 2 by 2, the 72 still retains leader, fighting it with the 37. They're side by side,
but they're also catching up to slower traffic. That's the 95 of Zachary Taylor's coming off of turn 4 now, heading to the start-finish line, as the rest of the field is now working their way off of turn number 4. But he is up to speed with everybody else.
Keep in mind, no cars are lapped, so if that Taylor gets lapped, he will be the first car 1 lap down. But he probably will affect wherever he goes. It will affect the position or affect the row, unless they go hot. He goes at the bottom or goes super high, and everyone else avoids him.
Absolutely. So far, DeFeo holds on, leading up at the top side. Sean Ard on the bottom. But it's 8 cars pretty much lined up in this lead pack here. And you also have the rest of the pack that has Ryan Kendall and Josh Williamson currently occupying the other 2 spots inside of the top 10, as we are halfway through the Busch's 200 here at the Daytona International Speedway. And it is Michael DeFeo who just barely let that lap over the number 72 of Sean Ard.
my question is, will we get a caution at all? Because everyone has always been spread out, and we have not had any issues. So, will we get a caution and bring this field back together?
Hey, yo, Nathan, it is a random race. It's just a random offline series that Wyatt and I put together. But here's a review of your top 10 here, coming around to complete lap 41, with now just 39 laps to go. It is Michael DeFeo who leads it at the stripe. Sean Art in second, then third is Zachary Fitzwater, fourth is the 9 of Art Leonard, fifth is Brian Holt, sixth is the 14 of Caleb Hoffman, seventh, is Eric Estep. Eighth is currently being scored. Eighth is the 42 of Nathan Stapleton. Ninth is the 96 of Ryan Kendall. And completing your top 10 is the 13 of Haley Curris. And we have essentially caught the number 95 of Zachary Taylor.
The question is, though, what will happen when they catch up to him? Will Zachary Taylor let them by either on the top or the bottom, let them all squeak by without issues, or will someone get held up?
We'll just have
to see as they start to fan out a bit.
They start to fan out a little bit. 3 wide here. Let's see what happens here. 3 wide for the third position, and they're gonna put Fitzy. They're gonna put Taylor in the middle. Sean Art on the bottom. DeFeo's still up top, and DeFeo comes out on top. But now Taylor blocks the middle and the top lines.
That allows the inside lane to get a good push, and that allows Stapleton to move up to the 4th position. And will that also allow this next group to come up?
It very well could. So far, the gap between the 8th place car and the 9th place car is by, I would say, 3.2 seconds.
Here comes Eric Eastep in the 14. I lost who's in the 14. That would be Caleb Hoffman on the inside. Looks like Hoffman's trying to make a move, go past Eric Eastep, but
he doesn't quite have the run to do so.
Is that the 12? The 12's making a move for second. Brian Holt's making a move to second. Making a move on Sean Ard to get second, and then now they're all chasing after the 37 of Michael DeFeo.
DeFeo has absolutely no traffic around him, at least for the moment. They head through turns 1 and 2. Holt moves on into the 2nd position. No traffic around him either. Stapleton now tucks into the 3rd position, but I don't know for how much longer Stapleton is going to be wanting to sit into that 3rd position. If anything, he's going to be wanting to go for 2nd, and there it is. Trying to make the move for 2nd.
And you mentioned that before the race started, Michael DeFeo has not been in any other than the NR race for a long time. He's now leading this race. If we look like Sean was trying to make a move for a 3 wide pass, but he hasn't been in there. He's leading right now, and he's going against drivers who's been in the series for a good little bit. It looks like Eric Eastup's trying to make a move for 3rd place. Trying to make that 3 wide.
He almost made it 3 wide, but he didn't have a good enough push from neither the 14 or the 9 to perfectly execute that. And now you got Leonard in the number 9 going to try to make it. Almost made it 3 wide underneath Hoffman and Fitzy, but he didn't have a good enough run. And now battle for the top position. Here comes the 42 of Nathan Stapleton. No help behind DeFeo. Now he's got company behind him. Sean Ard goes up to help the number 37.
And here comes Brian Holt trying to make a move for 3rd with the help from Eric Estep. To try and help Nathan Stapleton.
So far, it is 6 cars lined up on the inside. Remember, Zachary Taylor, even though he has damage to the right side of his car, it's not hindering the aerodynamics of his race machine, so his speed will definitely blend in with the rest of the pack, and he's able to make these moves and really spoil the party for some of these other drivers. So it's definitely going to be really interesting to see what kind of role he plays here in this pack. And here comes the number 12 of Holt to the inside. Estep going to try to make it 3 wide.
And I think that pack back there is catching up. little by little.
3.2 seconds is still the gap, but that's mostly because these drivers right here, they're not even lined up single file. They're not even lined up perfectly because look at this. They're still racing for position. Kendall and Williamson going at it for the 9th spot. Behind them, the 22 and the 13 are still fighting for position. You have Abby Walker almost making a 3 wide underneath of Bonsignor and Emily Anderson. Thought twice of it, and she falls right back in line.
With her dad right behind her, Terry Walker in this second pack, trying to make this work to try to catch up to him.
I would definitely say so.
With Steven Walker on that outside, still even though they're not leading, they're still right next to each other.
Still right next to each other, but at the back of the second pack. Let's check in with the third group here. Being led by Michael Jordan and pole sitter Stephen Colon. Both of them running side by side, leading both lines. You got Elijah Gordon in the number 5 down there. You even have Ray Atikian who's in this group. I do want to say, yeah, it's the number 19 of Justin Marks is in this pack, and Quentin Moore, Claire Phillips, Janiyah Hill, they're all in this group. Let's take a look at the fourth pack being led by Sly Foxy. Foxy and the 23 leading that fourth group. And Nia Seidel, they're all single file, which is actually the best strategy by these drivers in this group, because then that enables them to go catch that third group. If they're not going to be racing the way that the other 3 packs are, then that means they're in good position. Well, I spoke a little bit too soon. Nia Seidel, a little impatient there, and goes underneath of Foxy for that position. I want to say that is for the 29th position on track.
And then we got one more. We got one more pack right behind them. That involves, I think, the last few. Looks like a 3 wide between Susie,
That's also the 32 of Andrew Ramsey and Eli Brightway up there on that outside. Wyatt Walker, unfortunately, is back here. 39th position. He was running just inside of the top 10, and now he's stuck back here in the 39th spot. And then the final 2 cars, the 17, that is Raja Karuth, and also the 51 of Joshua Cornish. Both of them are racing side by side. That is the battle for the 40th position.
And then we got back Zachary this one. I'm sorry. Zachary Taylor in the back in the very last position. As we got Eric Eastep trying to make a move on Brian Holt for the lead.
You got both of the Stuart Haas cars riding nose to tail between the 2 leaders. Fitzy on the outside, Hoffman on the inside, helping both of these other cars that are up front, at least for the moment. But look in the background. That second pack is now 3 seconds exact.
When you say look back, don't forget to look ahead. We have 2 lap cars not too far up as well.
They're still running side by side, and if they actually don't get things situated, they're going to be going a lap down, and that means that's going to be more positions for Zachary Taylor to possibly catapultize on.
And that's not the only thing either. If that happens, where are those 2 going to go, and will that affect this front group to help the second group?
It most likely will. They might catch them before the second and final round of green flag stops here. They come down the back straightaway. Holt with the advantage. E-step battling with Fitzy for the second position, and everybody else behind him looking on. But I'm not sure how much longer Brian Holt's going to hold on to the lead with no traffic around him, because these 2 are also catching him in a hurry. I wouldn't say hurry, rather. It's more like a little bit under 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, but when the next pit stop's going to happen, who's all going to go in? Are they all going to pit at the same time, or are they all going to do different pit stops? And where will that happen? And will that eventually screw the other drivers or drivers racing in the front?
It's going to be really interesting. You look back here. Let's take a look at the second group. They're going 3 wide back here. That's Emily Anderson in the middle. Stephen Walker in the number 10 down there on the inside. Ryan Kendall up on the outside. And then Abby Walker is putting herself in the middle of a 3 wide situation with Terry on the bottom, Travis Crampton up top, but that's going to get sorted out really quick. But right now, 25 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line this time around.
They're getting close. And I think in a lap or two, they're going to catch those 2 lap cars of the 51 and the 17.
And they're still running side by side. Neither of them have really been able to get away from each other. No one's really been able to pull ahead or...
they're catching them even on the back. I think they're going to catch them either at the end of turn 2, or the backstretch, but they are catching.
And if I'm Eric Estep, I would not want to make my move right now, which is he's going to do just that, which is kind of the problem because both of the lappers are side by side. Let's see where Eric Estep goes. He's going to stick right back to the back bumper of the 17. Fitzy almost tried to make it 3 wide. It didn't quite work, and now what that's going to do, remember, these 2 cars also don't have damage, so their speeds are going to be able to blend in with everybody else's. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater to the inside. Coming up on 20 laps to go here in a few circuits time. Fitzy to the point. Brian Holt now starting to fall back in the 3rd lane. Nathan Stapleton going up to cover him. So
get past these lap cars.
So far, I'm surprised that the leaders haven't been able to get around them. They're both still on the tail end of the lead lap. And I think that just opened the door for Zachary Fitzwater to drive underneath. No, he didn't do that. Eric Estep could very well drive around the outside, but he hasn't done that either. The lappers have pretty much neutralized the leaders.
And don't look now, but I think I saw 75 go way high. And I think that means pit stops will be coming up here shortly.
There is no 75 in this race.
75, I'm sorry, the 95, I'm sorry.
95 is still on the bottom. That's Zachary Taylor still down there on the inside. And coming off of turn number 4. Everybody's still out on the racetrack, but I would say that the window of the last green flag pit stops would come around lap 62, right around the lap 61, 65 mark. We'll just have to wait and see. 3 wide. Eric Estep around the outside of the 17 of Caruth. Let's see what Fitzwater does.
And technically the 20 is our leader right now. So if he makes a good move on the outside, he gets through. He'll be in the lead, and he'll be past those lap cars.
Now here's the problem. Remember, the other 2 cars do not have any ounce of damage on their race machines at all, so their speeds are able to blend in with the rest of the other drivers, and they're able to mix things up. However, though, Estep has pulled ahead of the 17, but is not able to clear him.
Oh, the 14 looked like he's trying to make it 4 wide.
That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea, Hoffman. I'd stay back there.
And I think that second group might be catching little by little.
A little by little. Oh, man, the 72 and the 42 are making contact here. Oh, man, they're door slamming. They were door slamming coming off of turn number 4. How they managed to not get themselves into a 4 wide situation, I will never know. But Caruth has managed to unlap himself and get back on the lead lap, but I don't know how much longer he's able to do this.
Keep in mind, I just looked at that lap time. That last group just cut this group's lead by a 10th. maybe more. So they are coming.
And here's another thing. The driver that has the fastest lap of the race is Gekka Holt in the number 27, our outside pole sitter for this race. Where is she currently right now? You may be wondering. Currently sitting in the 33rd position. But Zachary Fitzwater to the lead. Now here he comes underneath of Raja Caruth. Under 20 laps to go, and I believe we're going to be inside the window for one final round of green flag pit stops. And you got the Stewart-Haas cars lined up on the inside line as they head down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Let's see what happens here.
Was Brian Holt trying to make a three wide? Here comes drivers going up.
I think this is a sign. This is a sign. Pit stops are happening, and Sean Ard goes in by himself. Never mind, he's got company behind him. That's Emily Anderson in the 21 peeling off.
Anyone else peel off? No one in the third group. What about the fourth group?
No one. No one in that fourth pack.
Only two. That's not good.
That is not good at all.
Not good at all.
So Fitzwater holds on to that top position. At least for now. Let's see who else comes into pits. I think this is going to be a bigger group of cars that are going to come down pit road. It's going to most certainly include these leaders. But let's see which ones come into pit road. Fitzy stays out. Here comes Caleb Hoffman, Nathan Stapleton, Art Leonard is in, and also the 20 of Eric Estep comes down pit road.
And no one in the second row coming in. I think that strategy try to help catch up.
Elijah going to the number 5 in. Benny Watson is now coming in from the 4th group. And nobody from this 5th group of cars. Sean Art and the 21 of Emily Anderson. I believe they're going to get by her just fine, but Sean Ard got out way ahead of the leaders. So let's see this time. I think now this time Fitzy's going to have to come in. The 51, and here comes Fitzy. DeFeo stays out.
And
Stephen Walker comes in. Josh Williamson, the 13 of Haley Kurz comes in. Janiyah Hill, Derek Hamill, or not, Pitbull's in. Quentin Moore's in. Kelsey Higdon, Gekka Holt, the driver who has the fastest lap in this race, is in the pits. Eli Bright is in now.
I think everyone in this final group will come in, but here's the question: how will they line up at the end of this?
Oh man, this is going to be really interesting. Remember DeFeo, he has yet to come down into the pits. The 51 and the 17 both have yet to come in, and here they come. The 51, the 37 both come in. Zachary Taylor pits.
And I think this is about almost the rest of the field. Here comes about everyone else.
Holt, Bonsignor, Walker, Crampton, Kendall, Jordan, Cologne, Atikian, Steidel. The 51, remember, I don't think the 17 came down a pit, so I believe Caruth is the only other car that is yet to come in a pit.
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Stack up.
Mitchell Collins, I think.
Keep in mind, we have not had a caution.
And there comes Caruth. Caruth is coming into the pits. And I believe that, yes, here comes the 22.
The 22.
Mitchell Collins and Abby Walker's in. Here comes Claire Phillips.
Here comes 3 more.
Claire Phillips. The 6 of Cody Smart. The 19 of Justin Marks. Derek Hamill. Also the 32, I want to say that is Andrew Ramsey. And then Wyatt Walker is in the pits as well.
So now where does this cycle out? Who is our leader? Is Stapleton our leader?
Let's see, man. This is going to be really interesting. I believe Nathan Stapleton is going to be the leader. Maybe. Wait a minute. Hold up. Who's coming out in front of that pack? It looks like that's Caruth, but remember Caruth is a lap down.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh, this is dangerous. This is dangerous, but I believe the top position is going to go to Nathan Stapleton.
Well, don't say that for long, because here comes Sean Ard right next to him, and I think that's who is.
That's Zachary Fitzwater in the 4. Sean Ard, a little ways back, but still in this group. He's still in this group. But here they come. 13 laps to go here in the Busch 200 from Daytona International Speedway. And it is Nathan Stapleton who leads the way. But don't look now. You have other drivers back here. You have other drivers back here that have now have a shot. DeFeo's back in the mix. How about Haley Curris? You also have the 43 of Josh Williamson is now in this conversation. How about Emily Anderson? If they manage to stay lined up single file, they'll be able to catch this group of cars.
And look at this carnage! And looks like
look at that.
Looks like they have caught them.
It's that kind of magic that happens here when you run single file here at a place like Daytona. It wounds up pulling in other drivers. Here comes Michael DeFeo. They all have a chance. Every single driver that was in that line of cars, they now have a chance to win.
Who will hold who off to win this race? Nathan Stapleton's still in, but you gotta keep an eye out for that 4. Dr. Fitzwater is still there. He's trying to make a move.
Ard makes it 3 wide for second. Sean Ard making it 3 wide for the second position. Now you have that lapper, the 51 of Joshua Cornish up there. Carruth still trying to toughen it out. 11 laps to go here at Daytona. Oh man, that might
make it 3 wide.
That was a mistake on Nathan Stapleton's part. He opened up the bottom for somebody like Sean Ard to drive to the inside. Curris with a little bit of a nose peeked out from underneath the 72. They hit the back straightaway, 195 miles an hour. But you can't count out somebody like Josh Williamson in the number 43 with help from the 21.
Don't look now, but here comes Brian Holt and Eric Eastep. Both in the 12 and the 20. They have caught up to this, and I think if they get the drive, they could be a factor as well in this race.
10 fingers. 10 fingers held out into the air. 10 more laps to go. Sean Ard just barely missed out on leading that last lap over Nathan Stapleton. Stapleton currently holding on up on the top side, but you can't count out Sean Ard at all. You can't even count out any of these other drivers that have now suddenly found themselves in the mix looking for a win here in the first ever race in the off-season series.
I think these are the first I think these are going to be the only drivers that ought to be contending for this win unless a caution comes out, because I don't think that next group is going to catch them.
I don't think so either.
I think these are the drivers that are going to fight for this win, and it's going to be these 11 drivers. We'll see who will get the victory.
Stapleton holds on. He holds on for the moment. Here comes the 43 of Josh Williamson to the inside. Can he get to the inside of the 72? Nope. Didn't have a good enough push. But now he moves up to the top side, and that opens up the door for the 21 of Emily Anderson to move to the bottom.
You mentioned it before. We haven't really talked about those drivers, and especially Josh Williams, who's now in 4th. He was in the middle of the pack most of this race. Now he finds himself probably running in 3rd.
He does.
Looks like he's going to draft on the 42. Looks like he's going to try and make a move. He's inside. Sean Ard first, second. Let's see with that and hopefully get the push. As
Stapleton barely let that over Sean Ard. But I'm also surprised that somebody like Raja Carruth, for as long as he's been on the tail of the lead lap, he still manages to hold on 3 wide. The target car is in the middle of a blue car sandwich.
Oh, contact. I saw contact between the 43 and the 42.
Down the back straightaway they go. Stapleton holds on to the top position. Here they come through turns 3 and 4. 7 laps remaining from here at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. You also got another slower car up ahead. That is the 38 of Benny Watson. This most likely is the last car that they're going to run into in this entire race.
And it looks like they may catch him in at least probably 2 or 3 laps. And
And
It's getting
Stapleton
pretty
still trying to figure out a way to get by Carruth. Remember, Carruth is on the tail end of the lead lap, and he's the last car on the lead lap. And I'm surprised that he still managing to hang it out there and still stay on the lead lap here. Here they come to 6 to go. Haley Kurris trying to make some noise, moving up into the 3rd position.
Don't count out Michael DeFeo in his first season back. He's coming up. Oh, 21 got in front of him, but keep an eye out. These cars are racing for this victory.
They are indeed. Now
here comes the 38.
Now Stapleton tries to figure out how to get by to the 17. Looks like he's going to be able to do just that and try to pin him a lap down. But Josh Williamson is going to try to take advantage of that and try to make it 3 wide. Nope, he thought twice of it, but he has to go to the top because here comes the 13 of Haley Kurris to the inside as they catch the 38.
Can they get past? Now the 38 holds up Josh Williams on the high lane where Josh Williams is, and here comes able to lead, and here comes the 13.
Oh man! Now the 17 is up top, 3 wide, 5 laps to go. As Stapleton holds on to the top position, this opens up the door. This could potentially open up the door for the 21 to drive to the inside.
And it will also help. This could also help Michael DeFeo too. If those cars do work some magic to move up, and he gets those good runs, he could probably get 2 there, and Stapleton's still holding up that position while the 13's right there.
Oh man, it's almost like he's leaving the bottom open. He left the bottom open. Here comes Haley Kurris to the inside. But he's managed just to hold on and keep the lead from Haley Kurris. Here they come, 4 laps to go. I don't know how much longer Stapleton's going to be able to hold on to this top position, but so far it's working really well for him.
And this has been caution-free, y'all. No, there's not been a caution all race, and even if a caution comes out now, the race will be over. Now I think Stapleton just kind of hopes that someone causes a caution so he could be the winner.
But another thing you'll have to watch out for if there is a caution is that there is a history of other drivers that are leading the race that have some sort of mechanical failure, so you wouldn't want to rule that out 100%. 3 laps to go. Stapleton still leads. Haley Kurris right there in that 2nd position in that number 13 to capitalize if he makes a mistake.
And the 38's helping by gassing.
Oh no! Benny Watson's going to play spoiler! Watson plays spoiler with 3 to go, 2.5 laps to go this time, but there's also Wyatt Walker in the 78.
Here comes Wyatt Walker.
I don't think they're going to catch Walker in time. Here they come to 2 to go. It's a 2-car breakaway between Nathan Stapleton and Haley Kurris. They come down the front straightaway into the tri-oval. Popsicle sticks in the air. 2 laps to go.
It looks like it's just going to come up between Nathan Stapleton and Haley Kurris. I think I said that wrong, but well, it's going to come between those.
Here comes Kurris to the inside. Emily Anderson there in that 3rd position. Where will she go? She'll stick to the inside. Maybe try to open the door for 3 wide. She's going to try it. She's going to try it. 3 wide for the race lead. As they come through turns 3 and 4, she pulls out ahead, but I don't think she's going to be able to clear either of them coming off of turn number 4. Kurris gets the run on the outside, and here they come. White flag is out. Final lap here at Daytona. Kurris with the run on the outside. Let's see what happens. Down into turn number 1. Emily Anderson.
At the end of Stapleton's race, he put up a good fight, but now it looks like it's going to come up between Joe.
It's going to come down between Emily Anderson and as well as the 13 of Haley Kurris. They go down the back straightaway one last time. Can Josh Williamson make some sort of move? He's going to stay glued to the back bumper of the 21, but it's still going to be side by side. They come through turns 3 and 4. Kurris has the lead, but Anderson pulls up a little bit more, but here they come off of turn number 4. Kurris clears the 21, and Haley Kurris takes the win at Daytona. How about that?
How about that? Stapleton still comes home third. A great effort by him. Good effort by the 21. Try to make it good. Oh, Stapleton actually beat 21 to get second.
Anderson was
That
right
was
there,
good.
but she came up just a little bit short and just barely loses out on third place to Nathan Stapleton. But the woman of the hour is the number 13 of Haley Kurris. She gets the offseason started off right with the victory here at Daytona International Speedway. Oh, do you want to breathe now, CE? Sorry.
She did really good on that run. She earned that victory. Tough break for Nate Stapleton. He did so well this race. He led coming at the end. He made a few mistakes and everyone else capitalized.
It definitely is a tough break for Nathan Stapleton, but he definitely was in the mix all race long, but he'll come up just a little bit short in the second position. Finishing third, as we mentioned, is the 21 of Emily Anderson. Finishing in the fourth spot is the 43 of Josh Williamson. Fifth is the number 72 of Sean R. Sixth is the 14 of Caleb Hoffman. Seventh is the 37 of Michael DeFeo. Good run for him in his first race back. Eighth is the 4 of Zachary Fitzwater. Ninth is the 9 of Art Leonard. How ironic. And rounding out your top 10 is the 20 of Eric Estep.
Eric Estep has been in the top 10 this whole race, so good job for him. But going through the rest of the field, who finished 11th was Brian Holt in the 12 car, then Abby Walker in the 12. The 18 finishes 12th, and 13th is Stephen Walker in the 10. Then got Alex Bonsignor in the 1. Terry Walker in 48 is 15th. 16th Ryan Kendall. 17th Mitchell Collins. 18th is Travis Crampton. 19th after being in the back, starting on the back, worked his way up to get top 20 is Elijah Gordon. Rounding out top 20 is the 7 of Jediah Hill.
And then in the 21st position, you have the number 11 of Michael Jordan. Finishing 22nd is the number 6 of Cody Smart. 23rd is the 77 of Ray Atikian. 24th is the number 19 of Justin Marks. 25th is our pole sitter, Stephen Colon. 26th is the 31 of Kelsey Higdon. 27th in the number 15, finishing in the 27th position, is the 15 of Pitbull. 28th is the number 3 of Claire Phillips. 29th is finishing 29th is the number 2 of Allison Rain. And finishing inside of the top 30, completing the top 30, is the number 83 of Derek Hamill.
Some of those names we haven't talked about all day, especially Kelsey Higdon, the 31. Her name was barely been mentioned along with Allie Ray, mentioned a couple of times, but starting off the 31st, got Quentin Moore in the 34 gets 31st. Then 32nd, we got the 23 of Sly Fox. I then got the 41, I'm not, how do you say the last name?
Stidle.
Stidle, thank you. Then we had the 88 of Eli Bright. Our driver was outside front row. Gekko Holt comes home 35th. Then 27th. Then Susie Atikin finishes on the lead lap, comes home 36th. Andrew Ramsey 37th. Rounding out the driver who's in the lead lap is the 7-8 of Wyatt Walker. Then Bennett Watson the 38. And the 40th is Zachary Taylor in the 40th in the 95 car.
Then finally, the last two drivers to finish 41st and 42nd is the 17 of Raja Karuth, finishing 41st, and completing the field in 42nd is the number 51 of Joshua Cornish. How about that, Wyatt? What a race. Even though it was caution-free, we still saw some really good action nonetheless, and by the end of it all, it was Haley Kurris coming out on top here at Daytona International Speedway. Honestly, something I really didn't quite expect, but she managed to pull it off.
Yeah, so that was a pretty good race to start off. And yes, Stapleton, you got second. You were so close to that victory. You led good laps at the very end. You messed up at the very end, and you came so close.
So close, but no cigar, unfortunately. And but still. Well, there's always next week, which I have no idea where we're going to go to, but you'll definitely figure out at the same time as we do. But, oh boy. Maybe we might go to Fontana. I don't know.
Fontana, that's a good possibility. Me and you will probably have to think about that.
Maybe. I mean, we've got some time to figure that out. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here, and you'll see your point standings once we get to the next race. In the meantime, we want to say congratulations to Haley Curris on nabbing the first win of the off-season series. And thank you guys so much for watching. On behalf of C.E. Walker over here, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out. Have a good night, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.
See you later.